What do I find it in this crazy old world? I need strategies, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Every time I listen, Lauren and David share strategies for living, and it makes me aware. I've got strategies. I got strategies for living, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio.
Oh, you know we need them? Yeah, we need those strategies, don't we? Those strategies for living. So are you ready? Are you ready for your daily dose of radio rehab? Yeah?
Yeah.
Getting still, getting quiet over there, are you?
Taking a nice deep breath. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Well, it's
settling in.
'tis the season. Although that's the whole point of what we're going to talk about today. There's a lot of people that would disagree. I mean, this is the time of year that we say 'tis the season, and you're saying 'tis the season to relax. A lot of people running around out there right now
Oh my
would
goodness.
not agree with us,
The
would they?
traffic is terrific, and everybody running around to parties and grabbing presents and
Doing all the
if-
holiday stuff.
If you are to look outwardly in any way towards the people, at least, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you would see the same thing that is reflected in nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The season
and-
itself can be and we're still
By the way, we're
still in fall.
Yeah.
We're not in winter yet. Winter doesn't happen until
The solstice,
the winter solstice.
which this year is the 21st,
Okay.
December. Yeah.
So we got a few more days of fall, and then
Yeah.
we're to winter.
We are heading into, this is the thick of it, right?
Yeah.
And as the nights grow longer and longer, I mean, we are headed towards into the deep darkness that we'll ever see for another year.
And that winter, that season of winter, the season of darkness can be a wonderful teacher to us.
Absolutely.
And yet, the question that we'll raise this evening is, are we listening? We'll talk about that
Or are we
today
resisting?
and more here on Strategies for Living. Folks, thank you for being with us. And thank you to our sponsors who make all of this possible. The Robinson Film Center and Azalea Cleaners and Pintail Roofing
Roof, roof.
and Learning RX. We train your brain. The Balanced Life Wellness Center, Fertitas Delicatessen, home of the Godfather, Alligator Italian Sausage, pretty good muffies too. SRT Sales Training, Uprising, Addiction Center, and Mira, Direct Primary Care. Back in a moment. 'Tis the season. We'll talk about it today, right here on Strategies. Strategies for Living. Come back with us.
Tune in daily, find the light. Healthy mind and spirits bright. Strategies for living strong. Feel the vibe, it won't go wrong. Body moves and soul align. Catch the rhythm, feel the time. Radio rehab every day. Chase those clouds of gray away. Your daily dose of radio rehab. Lift you up when skies seem trapped. Mind and body, spirits free. Living life in harmony.
And welcome into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillan. I'm David McMillan. Thank you for being with us today here on Strategies for Living. I hope you are not running around
Not too much anyway.
too much today. Because what we're going to talk about today is exactly that. I mean, here's the thing. Productivity if you believe the culture that we're in, productivity has and knows no season.
Right.
And yet, if we step back and just observe nature, that's it. Just observe nature. I think nature would disagree with us.
Yeah. Well,
vehemently.
Well, and I think this is kind of one of my soapbox topics, right? That we have become so disconnected from nature as a society, and
we have a collective nature deficit disorder.
And I truly believe that that's at the root of many of our diseases, right?
Yeah.
Because in recognizing that we are nature, we forget that
we are part and parcel of nature itself. Yeah.
We are not separate from it in any shape, fashion, or form.
Right.
Yet when we believe and we act as if we are, that's when we begin to get into trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, we really disconnect ourselves from who and what we are, a piece of what we are.
Yeah. I mean, and if you stop and look at what nature is doing right now, what is happening in nature now? Well,
significant rest.
There's dormancy. There's actually decay going on.
Lots of decay.
There's consolidating going on.
Lots of release, letting
There's
go.
root building going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Underneath
all of this,
the surface.
Yeah. All of this happens in nature in late fall. And in late fall, you kind of, you can feel the heavier, quieter, more tender part of nature, can't you?
If you're quiet enough to listen.
Yeah.
But I think we can all feel it. I think that's part of, our bodies naturally change as well. I mean, during the season when there's less light outside, our bodies produce more melatonin.
Yep.
And less serotonin.
Yep.
Right? And so
So naturally, it's going to encourage us to sleep more, rest more.
To go within.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
To do some introspection, to kind of retreat within to ourselves. I mean, that's a lot of what nature is doing right now and what it's asking. It's saying, okay, we're winding down. This is the descent, if you will, into a void of sorts, right? I mean, because that's what the symbolism of the longest night of the year is. It's this void. And I know many of us might hear that and go, ugh, like, I don't want to go into a void, right? But I want us to all consider reframing that as we all came from a quote unquote void.
Sure.
What would you consider the womb to be?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's this place of darkness where nobody can see. I mean, we have this amazing technology now where we can really see in incredible ways that we never have before.
Have you seen one of those lately?
Yeah, they're crazy, aren't they?
Oh, wow. You can see exactly what the baby's going to look like.
What's crazy about that, though, okay, we can see in that way. But the mother's body, in many ways, is blinded by what's going on in the womb, because if she were to know, if the mother's immune system were to recognize what was going on in the womb,
what was actually happening,
it would begin to attack it.
Yeah,
because it's a foreign entity, right? That's growing there, and so it's this. That's
another miracle of nature that it's encased in a womb,
right,
where the body is kept unaware itself.
Yes.
That's a miracle if you stop and think about it.
And what is
one
that?
of the miracles of nature?
It is, and it speaks to true creativity, and it speaks to, I believe, this season.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's this season of darkness, and there's a lot of unknown in the darkness. But just like that baby, right? Great there's great potential. Right.
Yeah.
There's great potential, and there's great things come from really releasing that, or trusting nature to do as it was intended.
So one of the questions is, what is the psychological cost? There's no question that we as a culture resist the seasonal rhythms, if you will, right?
Yeah.
But at what psychological cost
Ooh,
is that happening? That's one of the
big
things
time.
we want to talk about today.
Yeah.
And even I'll use the word pathologize.
Yeah. I mean,
Modern culture actually pathologizes
yeah,
what we're talking about
seasonal
today.
affective disorder, right?
Yeah.
And there is, I'm not going to
So-
say
so-
that there's no such thing,
No.
but that absolutely, but I might question, right? Is that really a disorder, or is that wisdom
Well,
that we're resisting?
yeah. And
Yeah.
I think again, as in so many cases, it depends because again, what is really going on behind whatever is manifesting that is creating the symptoms of what you call seasonal affective disorder.
Right.
But we pathologize rest. We pathologize stillness.
Yeah. Which is ironic because rest and stillness in very many, many, many cases truly is the cure to what we pathologize.
Yeah.
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 I mean, because if we're able to truly get still and to be with ourselves in a compassionate, non-judgmental way, that is incredibly healing.
Yeah.
And
So what
that's
if nothing is actually wrong with us?
Mhm.
We're just in the we're just aligned in the right season, right?
Yeah.
We're quiet and we're going within. But again, I don't want to get away from the fact of how hard this is to do.
Absolutely.
In the culture that we live in,
I think that's
where everything is sped up
Mhm.
at this time of year, in kind of in competition with what is naturally going on in our bodies
Mhm.
and around us in the larger environment.
Yeah.
And what nature is always, whether we're in tune with it or not, whether we're consciously receiving the messages or not, nature is constantly communicating with us, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Are we
And
listening?
That's the question. That's the question. Are we truly listening to? Because nature, and I could also, I'm using nature. I could also use the term God.
Yeah. Divinity.
Divinity, God, the higher self is always
The quantum field that connects us all.
You could put a lot of labels there,
Mhm.
but it's always sending us messages. The real question is, are we tuned in?
Mhm.
Are we listening?
Yeah.
And again, this is not we're not jumping up and down and saying, "Hey, shut down going to the holiday parties, shut down all of the."
No,
not at all.
That's impractical, right?
Right.
And it. Well, I think we have to take this back to kind of understand what our modern culture has been built upon, right? I mean, because if we go back, this time of year has been celebrated for ages, right?
Yeah.
And what our modern day celebrations has been, it's like the tip of the iceberg, right? And we're not seeing what the foundation was.
We almost have to reclaim
Mhm.
rest and the fact that, reclaim rest without any guilt, because rest is not laziness. It is biological and spiritual intelligence,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
One of my favorite kind of tricks is it's kind of funny, right? That an anagram of listen, if you rearrange the letters of listen,
Right.
you can find the word silent.
Okay. Same letters.
Yeah,
Right.
silent and listen, and so it hints at each other, I believe.
Hmm.
And it's funny to me that one of the Christmas songs, if you will, right,
Right.
is Silent Night,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And see, I think that harkens.
Holy night. All is calm.
Mhm.
All
bright.
is quiet.
Well,
Right.
bright.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I think that harkens back to the original connection with the season, literally the season,
right,
of approaching winter. And of course, the winter solstice is the longest night of the year.
Yeah.
And we anticipate and we hope that's the all the symbolisms of light, right? Is because after the solstice, literally, the light returns.
Yeah.
Right? Because the solstice is the longest night, and therefore after that point, the days lengthen,
slowly,
bit by bit by bit. We get longer, more and more and more days of light. The light returns. And so I think that's where the excitement originated, right? Is the hope and the wonder of the returning light. But we have this issue in modern culture of facing and recognizing and accepting and leaning into the darkness.
Of recognizing, of recognizing,
which is necessary for the light part.
We need to be able to recognize. We need to be able to rethink how we're living our lives today, and is it practical? Is it sustainable? We're talking about that and more today here on Strategies for Living. 'Tis the season. Tis the season for what? We're talking about it on Strategies for Living. We'll be right back.
Facing the same old problems day to day makes you want to holler, get away. Looking for the road that'll get me there. Looking for hope and peace to spare. Looking for strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio.
And welcome back into Strategies for Living Radio.
You need to pull out our festive bumper music again.
That's true. I do. I need to. Tis the season. I need to dust it off. Yeah, I do. I'll do that one of these days. When I get less busy. How about that?
Right. When you decide to actually tune in and
it may
return to your natural being.
Yeah. We're talking about the busyness of life and how we all get caught up in the busy. Some people may say, well, you're preaching to us. Actually, we're talking to ourselves, trying to remind ourselves of,
big time.
a lot of this stuff, because it's just so easy being in the culture that we're in to get pulled in.
I think not just in, of course, this seasonal, every time this holiday season comes around, you get swept into it. But there's something else collectively brewing in terms of there's a feeling of rush or urgency that's kind of gradually increased over the years. I feel, so, the season, just the season in itself is, there's a song I keep thinking of. It's by Straight No Chaser, which is like a cappella group.
Right.
And they sing the Christmas Can. And it's, one of the lines is run to your sweater, to your closet, grab your Christmas sweater, screaming carols all the way. And it's just this whole song about the rush and the you have tos, and you have to go Christmas shopping starts in October.
So we were talking last segment about this time of year in nature.
Yes.
It presents us with a void.
Yes. Well, and namely right now.
Yeah.
Like, this is very timely, right?
Right.
We are recording this, maybe a mere week before the solstice.
The actual winter solstice.
The actual winter solstice, which would be considered, naturally the void, the darkest day of the year. Right.
But maybe
in the northern hemisphere. Anyway.
Maybe we need to reframe the idea of void, because void is not empty.
No.
You mentioned a natural place of the womb, right? the womb is not empty.
No,
Yeah.
it's fertile.
Uh,
Right?
And
Incredibly.
void is not depression.
No.
And void is, you mentioned fertile. Void is fertile darkness.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's an emptiness, which is an end and a beginning.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it's from this place, the Buddhists, call it the great void, right? It's
Right.
the return to nothing. The nothing is from which everything came.
You and I were driving around yesterday, and we were looking. We were driving through a neighborhood that happened to have a lot of trees, and you just made the statement, "Well, finally, we're
Yeah.
getting the color change." We each year in fall, you and I threaten. Sometimes we get there, but this year we didn't. We threatened to drive up into Arkansas
Yeah.
to actually see the color. The
To see
different,
real fall.
see the color changes quicker in the season. But we saw some beautiful foliage yesterday.
Yeah. So that speaks to, right, to remember that, we are still in fall, right? And that means that the leaves are falling, right? And they're not dropping or breaking off.
Right.
But the clue there is they let go.
Yeah.
They let go.
Yeah.
Right? And so this is a great time for us psychologically and emotionally to also go within, right? And to consider what programs, what stories, what messages, what habits
Perhaps
am
do we
I-
need to let go of?
well, am I ready to leave?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah.
right? What am I ready to let go of? And to remember that the tree needs to let go of the leaves in order to grow new ones.
Sure.
Right? And
So late fall, this time
Mhm.
is a liminal space.
yes.
It's between liminal. That's between what was and what will be.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
if so many of us in our culture have a hard time here
Mm-hmm.
because we might say this is what we want,
Right.
but we're not willing to do the letting go to get to be in this liminal space
And this is
emotionally and psychologically to create.
this and that exactly is where our culture of, well, we just don't look at it and keep going and joyful, be merry, right?
Yeah.
That's where
And it's
things-
also produce, do,
Yeah.
do,
buy, consume.
buy, consume. Yeah.
And fall, this particular late fall into winter is a season of the exact opposite. It's not a time for consumption. It's a time for letting go and releasing and going within and resting.
And, we need this. The psyche, our psyche needs the space, this liminal space, if you will, the space between
Mm-hmm.
in order to integrate the year.
Yeah.
We need this in our lives. I mean, as we age, we may have more questions than we ever did about our origins, our beginnings. And if you get to be a certain age, like around what I am, you might ask people. There may be people around that you can still ask, but their memories may have faded some. So it's interesting. It's interesting that this is a time that we need to pull together and integrate.
Yeah. And it's a time also of pregnancy, right? I mean, that's
one of the things. Advent,
right.
Some of the churches before Christmas
Yep.
celebrate the season of Advent.
Mm-hmm.
And what is Advent? It's really a pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to birth into the world?
Right. And so again, we get that symbolism of the void, the creative empty space of the void.
Mm-hmm.
And if we think about it, right, between birth and between this late stage of birth, right, which is what we are in a year, right? We're at the end of the year being ready to birth into a new year. As you are being pushed through the birth canal, if you will, right?
Right.
Imagine if you were to push as well while you were in the birth canal. What would happen if you tried to push against your mother pushing you out?
Right. It would really kind of mess up the process.
Yeah,
the natural process.
It creates a lot of resistance.
Yeah.
And I think in a lot of ways, cyclically, seasonally, but also within a collective cycle, we're at this place of birthing something new into the world, and we are part of it as well, right? And so seasonally, what it's asking us to do is actually to be still and allow nature or flow or God or the universe or divinity to move through and push you along through this birth canal.
Right.
And if you in your egoic mind, try to
resist,
you might even think, well, I'm just helping her out, right? I'm going to push too. Well, that's actually some great resistance to what's going on, right? Because this season is asking us to be still and to go in and to consider and to create. And
this season, the solstice, the winter solstice, this has always been an important. It's mattered. It's mattered in culture. It's mattered in life, hasn't it?
Yeah. What's interesting is the word solstice actually means SOL. Sol means sun, right? And then the stis part means still. Okay?
The sun is still. Yeah.
Because there is a moment on the solstice where the sun appears to pause in the sky. And that's why they named it the solstice. But again, it's the outward physical asking us to manifest that on a figurative level, right? To really melt. How can we melt into this pause that nature is inviting us into?
Right.
Right.
And our relatives may have been a lot wiser than we perhaps give them credit for.
Yeah.
Because during this time of winter solstice, people gathered. They were gathering not to deny the darkness,
no,
but to come together and honor it.
Yes.
And honor the fact that this solstice is about hope. You've mentioned that before, but it's also about survival.
Yep.
And it's about
integration.
The promise of what is to come.
Yeah, and integration, because if we really look at it, even on a scientific level, right, there is no such thing as darkness.
Right.
We can't measure it.
And you can't shine darkness. There's only light and the absence of light.
Right, and that's the only way we can measure quote-unquote darkness is by the absence of light.
Right.
Right, and I talk about this when I talk with clients about shadow work, right? Like, in order for us to have a shadow, there has to be light.
Right.
Right? And so it's to remember that it's two sides of the same coin, and we need one for the other. And this season is really asking us to look at that.
And
consider that.
And to be able to look at it and consider it, we need to give ourselves ample time. We need to set that time apart, that part where we're able to quiet and be quiet and be still. And that goes kind of counter to everything that we've got scheduled and going on. And so it's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's a challenge.
Maybe when we come back, let's talk about how we can do that.
Maybe some strategies, some practical strategies.
Let's try.
We're even going to have practical strategies.
I think so. That's the goal.
We are strategies for living, after all. We'll be back. Stay with us.
We all have problems every day. We all need help along the way. We need strategies Strategies for living radio.
And welcome back. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. Well, now you've got me all stirred up.
Oh, yeah?
Lauren McMillan, David
How's
McMillan.
that?
Yeah. Well, I've got all this stuff that I've got my list. I'm checking it twice. And I've got all this stuff that I've got to accomplish. I got all of this stuff I've got to do.
Yeah.
And
You've got
ahead
to.
of me.
Okay, well.
And now you're telling me I've got to do something else. I got to be quiet.
No.
No.
Actually, it's less.
Okay.
What I'm asking you to do is less.
All right. Well,
Not
you're
do.
going to have to give me. You can really give me some strategies to help me here, huh?
Well, we're gonna try.
Okay.
Anyway, right?
All right.
And so the first one of the first things I think we need to talk about is, I guess in practical terms, what we've been talking about is kind of a permission slip, right? To allow yourself a seasonal permission slip.
Okay, yeah, I agree. But
Okay.
actually, let's get real clear.
Okay.
What we've been doing before now is the awareness, is to call to awareness
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
maybe some of the way we feel, some of us feel at this time of the year exhaustion. There maybe, and we can't figure it out. Why I'm supposed to be happy. Everything is joyful
Cheer.
and cheerful, supposed to be, but I'm not feeling that. Well, maybe, maybe what we've done so far is to call to awareness. Okay,
Ooh.
this may not be, you may not be as screwed up as you think.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually you in your mentioning that, I think maybe you just mentioned another strategy by accident, which is to listen to yourself, right?
Right.
Because the world may be screaming at you to go to this party or to go get this gift or to do this or do that or XYZ, but if your body is screaming at you, I'm tired. It's about saying, okay, body, I love and honor you and I trust
I'm
you.
going to listen to you. So give yourself a seasonal permission slip to loosen expectations then, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Less output, fewer commitments. Make shorten your social windows, because winter care is about subtraction, not addition.
And the first way, something you opened the segment up was, I have to do this and I have to do this. And I could, the CBT therapist in me is saying you don't have to. And that's, I think,
There's no have to.
That's the first part of this permission slip piece, right? Is to recognize you don't have to do anything.
Right.
If anything, you get to. And, so how can you reframe anything that you feel like you have to a get to? And if you can't, let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go and allow yourself, okay, the first time you let it go, there's going to be some guilt, perhaps, because
Maybe,
it's built up over the years.
Right.
But to remember that you are practicing returning to yourself.
Another strategy, you mentioned the body.
Mm-hmm.
We can listen to our bodies.
Yep.
And maybe go to bed a bit earlier.
Yeah.
Even 20 minutes can make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And that may not sound like much, but if you give yourself an extra 20 minutes a day, multiply that by 7 days, and that adds up.
Absolutely.
That adds up pretty quickly. Even 10 minutes, done daily. So go to bed a bit earlier. 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I mean, look
Whatever
at
your
what
body
that
tells
could
you to
add.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. And, maybe make a conscious choice of warmth over intensity.
Mm.
Okay, so.
Okay, so that gets me thinking about food.
Yep.
Right? Because one really great way to honor our bodies is to eat seasonally.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so that would be like warming foods. I'm thinking like ginger or cinnamon or garlic, right? Or cardamom, those warming spices and some root vegetables.
Yep.
Right? Things that are usually in season at this time, which there's not a lot, but there are a few things, right?
Yep.
And then to listen to your body, to what it needs.
Yeah.
You may need more or less food, depending on.
If you exercise, maybe this would be a good time to shift from the high output workouts to more gentle walks, you know?
Yeah.
And
I would add,
gentle walks with observation.
yeah, there you go. That's what I was going to add.
Looking
I was going to say
around.
mindful. Do a mindful, gentle walk, right? And actually, that's one of my favorite things to do on my walks is I call it talk to the trees, right? I walk around and I really pay attention to
Our next door neighbor is really beginning to wonder
really
about you. He's
concerned.
really concerned about you, but that's another program.
There she goes.
There she goes again. Yeah.
Oh.
She leaves for the office every day and she seems to be fine, but when she comes home,
Yeah.
one of the things we can do is, ritual is a powerful thing.
Ooh, and especially around this season, right?
Yeah. So we could do kind of this is a strategy, a daily descent ritual, right?
Yeah.
This doesn't take long.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5-10 minutes, but,
So
dim the lights.
okay, yeah, that's what you're meaning by decent. Yeah, return.
Light a candle.
Yeah. One of my favorite things.
Make a fire in the fireplace if you have one, and just sit and let yourself look into the fireplace.
Oh, and watch the fire because
Watch
that does incredible things for your brain and your body.
Yeah, and when you're doing this, you might ask just ask a simple question. Just put the question out. What am I ready to rest? What is ready to rest in me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what needs,
and then be still and see what comes. Yeah.
What needs to be loosed during this period? What is this darkness here to teach me?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What light is it here to show me and to remind me of?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my favorite things, if I can manage it, is to, turn off. I prefer incandescent light at night.
Right.
To try to avoid the blue stuff.
Right.
And to wind down with the incandescent or candlelight. And so that's another way of, returning to the natural cycle.
Yeah. Sometimes I run into things, but, that's okay.
It's another blessing of the darkness.
Another
right?
blessing of the darkness. Oh, I didn't know that was there. One other quick thing before, the time clock, the clock moves. Another strategy is, sometimes we think we got to eliminate something.
Yeah.
You may not have to eliminate it, maybe just contain it. And so holiday events are going to go on.
Sure.
But you have the power to bracket what you want to bracket, contain what you want to contain.
Put them in its place, right? And I mean, even if you consider that, this holiday event, I'll probably be here for maybe 1 to 3 hours. Really think about what that means in terms of percentage-wise of your day.
Yeah.
Right? And so if I'm only going to be at this event for 1 to 3 hours of my day, let's just say, right? Think about what that means and how much extra energy are you choosing to put into that 1 to 3 hours.
And can you maybe get yourself ready before, ground yourself after, and maybe build some recovery time afterwards.
Find what works for you.
Yeah,
to
contain
bring it back
the
down.
chaos. Yeah.
I like it.
Talking about 'tis the season today. How are we feeling about it? Talking about it, considering it today here on Strategies for Living. We'll be right back. And welcome back in. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. Hey, we're talking about the season today. 'Tis the season. If you've got somebody left on your gift list that you're looking for that right gift,
shameless plug coming
don't
up.
forget 10 truths.
That's right.
That can change your life. Available on Amazon. I happen to know the authors. Yeah. They happen to be
They're
David
pretty cool
and
people.
Lauren McMillan. So there you go. Just if there's a stocking stuffer that last minute that you need,
absolutely,
it'll get to you pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll be there.
So 'tis the season. We've talked about a lot today. What's your takeaway for the day? What do you want all of us to be mindful of as we continue on in this season, this season that is where nature is asking us to quieten down a bit.
Yeah.
But all around us, there's more and more activity, hustle and bustle, and things to do. What do you want us to take away from the things we've talked about today, Lauren?
So, just the idea that the season really doesn't ask us to shine or be jolly or merry or cheerful. I mean, if that's something you are genuinely feeling inside, express it, do allow it to flow through. But the season and the nature of things is actually asking us to listen, right? And when we do, something we touched on here and there, but the season is also about the light, right? It's about the coming light. And when we begin to listen, we often discover that the light was always there.
That light
inside.
is within. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Thank you, Lauren. Folks, thank you. Appreciate you being with us on Strategies. And we appreciate our sponsors who make it all possible. The Robinson Film Center, Azalea Cleaners, Pintail Roofing, Learning RX, the Balanced Life Wellness Center, Fertitas Delicatessen, SRT Sales Training, Uprising Addiction Center, and Mira, Direct Primary Care. If today were the last day of your life, you only had one more phone call to make, who would you call? What would you say? And why are you waiting? Make the call. For Lauren Leon McMillan, I'm David McMillan. See you next time right here on Strategies for Living.